Oh, Kamode. Here comes Kamode. There you are. Those are the teachers who handled Mr. Rigathi. Yeah, thank you very much. Please sit down, and thank you very much. And I commend Honorable Rigathi for really, you are really very excited to have met your former students. I should have also thought you was only that I was in another school. I was in Kangaroo that time, but all the same, all is well. Now, those are the people who are with Mr. Kano Ndumbi between the time when he was the principal of Kianyaga 1978 up to 1988. I would also like to appreciate all principals who are here. Principals, not teachers. Principals, please stand up. Principals, former principals, yeah. I think it's also important that you come in front so that you don't know anything can happen. Anything can happen today. With His Excellency the President, yeah. These are the principals who are here. It's good. Principals who have come to honor their hero, their former, and they are all gathered. They don't need to be introduced, but you can see, he is pointing at Mr. Karani. I don't know why. He is pointing at you. He is pointing at you. I don't know why. That was the teacher for Mr. Rigathi. Thank you very much. All these are the principals who are here. They are happy. Please sit down. Thank you very much. Sit down. Of all those people, I would like to single out Mr. Mudandai. Please, Mr. Mudandai, besides being a principal, he was a chairman of Health Association. He was the president of African Confederation of Principals, chapter that he started in St. Stephen's, in Johannesburg, and he is a great friend to, was great friend to Ndumbi. Thank you very much, Mr. Mudandai, for finding time. He is also a director of AFA. Yeah. So as we continue, Mr. Ndumbi is known to me is synonymous. His name and mine are synonymous. He mentioned Ndumbi, you find me. In the next 1 meter, I am there. When I'm in a meeting, he is there sitting next to me. Even you can find in the photographs here together. He was my buddy. 1972, you never knew. He started teaching at the boutique. I was teaching with him before he became even the principal of Kianyaga. We have been together have even been together to His Excellency's home together. We have been together. So anybody claim anyway. When he was the principal of Kianyaga, I was also the principal of many schools, including Kagum High School. And we used to really form associations. So I can say that Mr. Kano was loved by very many people. He was lovely. He was really interested in the schools, knowing what is happening. And Mr. Kano is the one who was responsible of making sure that all primary schools in Kirinyaga converted to secondary schools. So when I was busy in Parliament one time and the Senate, His Excellency, we made sure that Kirinyaga primary schools have their secondary schools, and Mr. Kano was behind it. I was reading, he was following. Including the school was founded by Mr. Ndumbi and myself, where we are now. So this tells you that Ndumbi was a very great man. He was lovely, he was everything, even the story tells. So without even being too much in the deep, because we can really talk a lot the whole day, the whole even tomorrow, Mr. Ndumbi has left us. The greatest thing which you should know, we were always, every other 2 days, we must be with Ndumbi. Even the day we went to hospital, the day he was admitted, I called him on Sunday. He told me that he is well and he's coming, that we continue what we are doing to do. Only to realize that the following day, Ndumbi was no more. That is how close you are, and that's how friendship means. Coming to Your Excellency, we really admire you as the Kianyaga fraternity. And people are even wondering, why is it only you are very close to Kianyaga? Why can't others also be close to their schools? You people, why don't you be close to where you are? But since you are the one who was in Kianyaga, that's why you are close. So I'm challenging those people who even whom I thought, why can't they be close to me the way you are close to Kano? And I also thought very many people here also. But you are not as close as Excellency has been to Kano. I think there must be a very close relationship. And I was told by him, which I should be able to confide in you later, how and why he liked you. He really liked you. Even now, he really liked you. According to me, he told me, or he has been telling me, you used to be very close. So my challenge is, go to your schools, be like His Excellency, the Deputy President. Thank you very much.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa, tumpigie makofi mazuri tafadhali. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais, kwa niaba ya Olin Sacco naomba kumkaribisha mwenyekiti Cyrus Mungai pamoja na the CEO John na the board of directors kwa dakika moja tafadhali. Tupigie makofi mazuri wanapokuja. Asante.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, and all the protocols observed. My name is Cyrus Mugai, representing Olin Sacco, former Muhegia, where Kano Ndumbi was a board member. He was elected by Kabare members in the year 1991, and he was, by the board that time, he became the honorary secretary. Then in the year 1994 to 1997, he was a board member. And 1997 to 2000, he was the chairman of this great organization called Olin. Then, what were the achievements by this man? In 1995, we sent him to Israel. When he came back, Olin opened a FOSA, the one which we call front office services or accounts. When we opened that one, it was the first one in Africa and one in Kenya, because the first one is in Australia. People came to learn to Olin, how can we open FOSAs? He continued assisting us and we worked very well. And he said, I want Olin to be known in Kenya. So today we have branches in Nairobi, at Ratansi Building, Narok, Loitoktok. They are all 10, and we want to continue growing. And so may his soul rest in peace. We were given 1 minute, have spent half. So the CEO of this great organization is going to read our condolence for the board and the staff and the members of Olin in Kenya. He is none other, John Mwangi Gathige. So all members of Olin, musimame mahali muko. All members, including the Kiranji, if you are a member. Yes, you can see they are very many. Wana John, take over.
Thank you, our board chairman, Your Excellency, the Deputy President of our great republic, and all protocols observed. Allow me to read the condolences and message from Olin Sacco fraternity. The chairman, board of directors, CEO, and the entire Olin Sacco fraternity is deeply shocked to learn about the sudden demise of the late Mr. Julius Kano Ndumbi. Mwalimu was not only a distinguished leader in the society, but also served Olin Sacco as a chairman and director for many years. His pragmatic leadership heritage, an era of transformation of the once small Muhege Circle to the current giant Olin National Circle. His legacy and immense contribution towards Olin Circle growth trajectory will forever be cherished. With the passing away of Mr. Julius Kano Ndumbi, the nation has lost a brilliant leader and an eminent academician. In this hour of grief, we, Olin Circle and fraternity, express our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family and pray to the Almighty to rest his soul in eternal peace. It is well, rest in peace, Maureen. God bless us all.
Thank you very much. We are finished. Thank you.
Asante sana Olin Sako, tuwapigie makofi. Asante. Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais, sasa naomba kualika yule ambaye ataongea kwa niaba ya NAT na si mwingine bali ni Patrick Kanayo. Tumpigie makofi mazuri anapokuja.
Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, other leaders present, friends of the family of Julius Kano Ndumbi, God is good, and all the time. I'm Patrick Mwangi Kanayo, currently the Executive Secretary, KNUT Kirinyaga, and I'm here on behalf of the entire NAT fraternity, who are not with us because they are attending another function at Mombasa. Your Excellency, the man we are having here, as you have heard, and you know him very well, it has been his commitment serving teachers in Kirinyaga and in Kenya in general. It is difficult for a teacher, particularly principals, heads of institutions, to be elected by teachers in those two organizations, the SACCO and the union. But the attributes with this man lying here are unique. And that is why he was able to navigate those avenues. He served us as KNUT Executive Secretary before the end of President Moi. That is 2001, and then the reign of President Kibaki, because he retired 2006, where he handed over the mantle to one Harrison Geshera, who is with us today. There he is. And then after that, I came to be. But there is one thing that I've not heard from those who are speaking here. You remember, Your Excellency, when we were in school, he used to tell us, you will become great readers. In other ways, he was a prophet. You can see where you are, where I am. Are we not readers? Has Kianyaga produced great readers? So was he a prophet? And of course, not a prophet of doom, a little prophet. Let me say, we are what we are because of this young man. Let me use him, young man. Those who are from Kianyaga boys, they know. He used to call us what? Every time? Young man. And any time we call you young man, you know the way things will be. And I remember, because he molded me the way I am and also molded me to be what I am. When it came to discipline, he was ruthless. A ruthless disciplinarian. Akipata aseme, let me see you, meet me in the office, dead or alive. And I used to ask myself, how can I meet him if I am already what? Dead. Well, ukisikia ukisema dead or alive, you will come out of that office being a different person, transformed. And really, he transformed me. When I joined union, 2002, and I found him as executive secretary. That time I was a DEC in Ngariama zone. He told me, young man, he reminded me of the 81, 83, 84 year, 1981, 1984 time when I used to be the real young man in the school. He told me, where you are is not where you will be tomorrow. Work hard, and one day you will be where I am. And it came to be. We treasure the effort of this man sleeping there. Actually, he is resting. He did all what he could have done in this country to bring sanity to this country. May he rest in peace. To the family members, there is a legacy that must be continued. But I know he has modeled you to the task. May you carry it to the fullest. God bless us all. Thank you.
Asante sana Bwana Patrick Kanayo. Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais, sasa kwa heshima naomba kumwalika Kenywa Mwai aje azungumze kwa niaba ya KUPPET. Karibu sana Bwana Kenywa. Tumpigie makofi anapokuja.
Zablon, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, I am Kenywa Mwai, the Chairman, Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, KUPPET. That is representing secondary schools as well as the tertiary institutions. Besides that, I'm also an old boy of this great school. That is Kianyaga High School. Excellency, before I proceed or I carry on, the young man right beside me is Zablon Mushiri Njega. He is the Assistant Executive Secretary of our union in this county. He's a great man, I would say, despite the age. I'm saying so because he was the agent, he's the man who was manning your votes in this county. He was as well shortlisted for the position of CAS, Chief Administrative Secretary. He went all the way up to the interview level, but he never made it. Yeah. So I don't want to go further than that, but let me say, we have come here to honor a hero. That is our fallen general, Bwana Kano Ndumbi. Before his demise or hospitalization and eventual demise, I was with him in a joint at Kerugoya, otherwise known as Midland, and I had gone to take late lunch. When I went to pay, I had to duck behind the counter so that I could establish or find out what he was taking so that I could pay for him. After ensuring that I had paid, I went and said hi. He invited me for a cup of tea, but I declined. And I told him, Mwalimu, there is no way in which you can pay for a meal as long as we are studying. That is your boys, for that matter. To him, I was always kijana. In fact, at one time I bumped into him in town. That is Kerugoya. In front of my children and my wife, he called me kijana, and my children had no choice. They just burst into laughter. Anyway, to him, I was always a kijana. All of us were. This is one of the most emotional moments when we are reconvening, although at a sober level, with the club of the old boys. Anyway, our general was a stickler for time. I don't want to keep on repeating that. stickler for time because at one time I wished to see him. And when he did give me an appointment, he told me, you have to be at the venue at exactly 5. And 5 minutes before 5, I was there. At one time, you decided to honor him at his place. That is the Laraine. When you are member of parliament, Madeira. That was in 2019. In my position as the chairman of Kupet, he invited me and an old boy. Then he told me, invite your executive secretary, Bwana Njogumboy, who was not an old boy. But of course, I was attending a delegates conference at Kitui. So he told me, lunch will be served at exactly 1. That was Mr. Ndobe for you. He molded all of us. He gave us an opportunity to grow. I remember, were it not for him, Your Excellency, in the year 1983, you starred in a play entitled Destiny. I remember very well that you are playing the role of a mayor. And I think that year or that particular time, if my memory serves me right, you must have been the best actor. You also starred in volleyball. Otherwise, were it not for Mr. Ndumbi, you would not have grown that far. And today, you are the second most powerful person in this land or in this country. Much as he was a strict disciplinarian, he was also fatherly. I remember at one time, and I'm talking about more than 40 years ago, it is not yesterday, I saw him approach a young boy who had not tucked in a shirt. He was a Form 1. He had just joined Kianyaga High School. So Mr. Ndombe just called the young boy. Right. Tucked in a shirt, straightened the collar, and that was it. I saw the other side of a strict disciplinarian. So he was also a father. He was also very, very friendly. Ndombe just called the young boy. Right. Tucked in a shirt, straightened the collar, and that was it. I saw the other side of a strict disciplinarian. So he was also a father. He was also very, very friendly. Thank you very much.
Asante sana Bwana Kenywa. Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais, sasa naomba kumwalika mwenyekiti wa National Irrigation Authority aje atuletee ujumbe kwa niaba ya Waziri wa Maji CS Zachary Njeru. Karibu sana.
God is good all the time. Bwana asifiwe. His Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, my friend Senator, Women Rep, and members of Parliament present, fellow mourners, good afternoon. Of our CS, allow me, with all humility, to invite and recognize my fellow board members, because hao ndio wananichagua na ndio wenye kura na walikuwa nakaa na Mwalimu Ndumbi. Kindly, and the management of National Irrigation Authority, kindly just come this side. Near management, kindly. This side. Those are our board members of National Irrigation Authority. I'll mention two things before I read the speech of the PS, because these are the people who used to stay with Mwalimu for 1 year. The moment Mwalimu was appointed, that was on 26th of May. The first call I received was from His Excellency, the Deputy President, to give me the terms of reference. And he told me, take care of that old man and make him happy. Because those were very strict terms of reference. So I drove all the way to Kirinyaga to look for this Director Mwalimu, because I was told to take care of the old man. And immediately we bonded very fast. He was a very good guy to jail. And I can promise His Excellency, the Deputy President, and he mentioned, wherever I'm opening any project for NIA, National Irrigation Authority, make sure you come along with my Mwalimu. And His Excellency, I did that. Secondly, our director was a team player and was strictly adherer of time. When I joined NIA as a chairman, board members used to start at 10. But because of the change of time, we decided to be holding our meeting at 6 a.m. in the morning. And true to his word, Mwalimu was there at 5:30. So that one I can confirm was a stickler of time. Secondly, about the family. I used to travel with Mwalimu quite a lot. Every 1 hour, he used to call his dear wife. Every 1 hour. Nikamuuliza kwani uko na msichana mdogo? Akaniambia no, huyu ndio mama watoto. So allow me to congratulate the family. They used to be close kabisa. Finally, he loved literature. And the moment Mwalimu want to convince the board of a project, especially in Kirinyaga, the last project he was convincing us to approve, which we have approved, was Mitararara irrigation scheme. Mikarara irrigation scheme. And these are the words Mwalimu used. And he said, Chairman, I cannot stay at the riverbank and my family doesn't have water. This is unacceptable. And therefore the whole board were convinced of that project. And it's very unfortunate. We had approved it. It will continue. As the board, we have agreed. And I will request the people of this great Kirinyaga to rename that project. And Mwalimu Kano Ndumbi irrigation project, so that we can go down the memory line of someone who has served this great country. We can honor his name somewhere. And we can confirm to you, His Excellency, we have already appropriated funds for this project, and that will be done in honor of our director, Mwalimu Julius Kano Ndumbi. There are two things, His Excellency, I want to ask you, because now this is the only forum which I can ask. And with the Senator Morango, who is the chairman of Agriculture, we have a serious menace of golden apple snails in Imwea, which are really ravaging the crops, that is the rice. They are affecting the rice at a rate of 15%, which means per acre, a farmer is losing 5 to 6 bags of rice. For 32,000 acres, it translates to, in a year, 3.2 to 4 billion. So we highly request your able office. I know you can intervene for the great people of Kirinyaga to see what to do. Secondly, I'm just asking for the great people of Kirinyaga. We had serious floods in our irrigation scheme, which has really affected our canals and the on-farms roads, which is becoming very impossible for the farmers to transport their produce. And I know, unajua kijana akiuliza babake mkate, huwezi ukanipatia jiwe. Naomba kwa unyenyekevu, sababu najua unajaribu kumobilize pesa kidogo kidogo, hii namna hii, utupatie 2 milioni kama 700 million ili tuunde hii kitu ya Kirinyaga, hiyo Mwea. Tukifanya hiyo mambo itakuwa mzuri. Kwa hayo mengi na machache, allow me to read the message of condolences from our CS, Jeru, to Mrs. Judith Wajira Ndumbi, and the children and the entire family of the late Julius Kano Ndumbi. I salute you all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, the author and the finisher of life. I received the sad news of the sudden demise of your beloved husband, stroke father, with the great sadness and devastation. Mwalimu Julius Kano Ndumbi was appointed by the government to serve in the National Irrigation Authority Board for a period of 3 years with effect from 26 May 2023. Sadly, death robbed us of him after serving for just 1 year. Indeed, he would have marked his first year as a near director just 5 days from today. That is on 26 May 2024. Mr. Ndumbi brought to the board a wealth of wisdom, knowledge, counsel, experience, and expertise. He aspired to push and contribute to the NIA board of directors and did staff to ensure that the NIA delivered to the highest level of excellency. He wanted to positively transform people's lives, especially the marginalized through irrigation. We want to thank his family and in particular, Ms. Wajira, for giving us a remarkable leader, colleague, and a friend. A truly hardworking, dedicated, dependable, and resourceable board member. Myself, the entire staff fraternity, the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation, the board and the staff of National Irrigation Authority, join you today in mourning your husband, stroke dad, as you escort him to his final resting place. We share in your grief and stand with you during this difficult period. Kindly accept our heartfelt condolences. Be comforted with the good memories you shared with him. It may be hard, but times heals all wood. I conclude and I wish to leave you with this Bible verse. 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 3 to 4. May God rest our director in peace. Thank you.
Asante sana mwenyekiti wa National Irrigation Authority. Tuwapigie makofi tafadhali. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais. Atakayetufungia jamvi hii ni Profesa Gachagua kwa niaba ya All Boys wa Kianyaga. Karibu sana, tumpigie makofi mazuri.
Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, who is our patron, the Lordship, the Bishop, Kirinyaga leadership, Honorable Mlango, Maina, Honorable Ashoki, and the Kirinyaga leadership. I can see our speaker here. Your Excellency, with your permission, I don't want to talk about Kano Ndumbi, but I want to show the people who are here and the world the fruits of Kano Ndumbi, the products of Kano Ndumbi, Kano Ndumbi's finest. I know most of these people in this country, or most of the people in this country, think that Rigathi Gachagua became the deputy president by accident. That is not true. Let me start by saying that the two persons who have spoken before me are old boys of Kianyaga High School. With your permission, I'm going to show these people that you did not become the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. I have heard you several times trying to tell people that, you know, I come from a good school. But today we are going to state that you are one of those finest. I'll start with the leadership of the alumni. Please come forward quickly. And the four captains, that is four captains, that is Mwendia, Dr. Githinji, Gatana, and Murigi. Quickly, please. Gogi is our chairman, Murigi is our vice chairman, Kamanga is our treasurer. Felix is our organizing secretary. Then we have Dr. Gitawi Dingi, the former controller of State House, and also the Director General of National Youth Service. Then we have, in that order, that is Gatan Kiura. That is in that order, because in Kianyaga, we really recognize seniority. Gatan Kiura, who is in the IT business. Then there is Francis Kariuki Murigi, who is a surveyor and a business person. Then we have Mwalimu Mwendia, who was captain some times back. I don't know the others because I think after that I left Kianyaga High School. Do you have a captain out there? No. Now, let me just put it this way. Kano Ndumbi did not just produce Rigathi Gachagua. In our midst, we have a number of professors. Do you have some professors here? I knew there were about 7 of them who are coming here. Where are you? If you're around here, kind of stand up. That is, let me wear my glasses. That is Professor Jiro. Yeah, Professor Jiro, James Jiro, is the CEO, Kenya Marine and Fisheries Institute, Mombasa. Karibu sana. Just have a seat. Kano Ndumbi taught about 7, 8, 9 professors, but I can name them very quickly. One of them is the former Vice Chancellor of Kimathi University, that is Professor Kioni. Then there is Professor Gari, there is Professor Nelson, there is Professor Gakuo, there is Professor Gari, there is Professor Munene of Zitek University, Professor Stati of Moi University, Professor Mutemi. Yes, those are just some of the few. Now, Professor Mutebei, he was supposed to have been here, but he had some commitments. Professor Mutebei is the current Vice Chancellor of Chuka University. So you can see, Kano, apart from being a teacher, he did a good job mentoring people to achieve the highest level of education. I know we have more than 50 doctors, PhD holders from Kano Ndumbi. So that's not a mean achievement. Not just that. If you look at the government, of course, having one of our seniors here, the former control of State House, then we also have other people. Kangene Duku, where you stand up. Kangene Duku just retired the other day from the civil service. He served as a district commissioner. He was employed the same day, probably with a deputy president. He became DC, then the regional commissioner, and then he went to parent ministry before he retired. We have others. Just have a seat, Kangene Duku. I said I want to showcase Kano Ndumbi because he's here. We're not going to do it again. Then we have Commissioner Muriuki, where are you? Commissioner Muriuki, Public Service. I know some of these people, when they see you, they get a little bit jittery because all the files come before you. Have a seat, Commissioner. Then we have Gari Gichugu, not just Gari Gichugu. Gari Gichugu, just stand up because I can see your parents there. Probably they don't know that you are one of those, we call them big potatoes or something like that. Not just Gari Gichugu. I want those people who are serving government. I know Kimani Kiru, where are you? There are quite a number of them. Where are they? It's not just Kimani Kiru, there are others. I can see some of them are already here. This gentleman here, Gogi, who is in charge of procurement in the Ministry of Roads. Then we also have Felix Wajohi, who is in the ODP office, is a director. I want to introduce other people here. Oh, Getuko, sorry, I didn't say that you are in which ministry? Gender? Yeah, sorry. Now I also want to introduce, where are the teachers? There are quite a number of teachers here. High school teachers. When Kano Ndumbi got ill, he was with two of his students who are principals in Kirinyaga. Abuya was one of them. We also took him to hospital. Abuya, kazi mzuri mulifanya. I know, where is Surveyor Budi? Budi was also there, but I think he's a bit busy elsewhere. Where? Okay, there you are. Where is Janja Gateri? Janja Gateri was the chairman of the funeral committee. He's also an old boy of Kianyaga High School. I know there are quite a number of people, and I'm going to introduce them, not just in education. I'm also going to talk about commerce. We were not left behind in no sectors. Where are you, Jomo? Where is Paul Geshu? Where is Vincent Murimi and the others? I can show you. Where are you? Please, if you're doing some business, stand up. I cannot be able to see you from here. We have Jomo, who is also a contractor, and he's a local here. You also know him. There is also Vincent Murimi, who is also a business person. He's also from this ward. And one time Murimi was the commercial director of Safaricom at some point. Then we have, remind me, sorry? Mwangi. Yes, Mwangi. And then we have the industrialist, Mr. Geshu, Paul Geshu. Paul Geshu, I think, has employed more than 1,000 people in this country doing plastics. And then we have Wamaria. Wamaria one time was a soldier, but I think he didn't get enough money, and then he had to quit to do mafuta. So those are some of the boys that I am presenting to you to show you that Kano Ndumbi did not produce Rigathi Gachagua alone, because sometimes the deputy president has to explain that I from Kianyaga High School. You people can see what is also there. And this is not the only one. We are a big team. And we are going to pass the baton to other people. When the deputy president came to Kianyaga High School during the homecoming, I told you that we are back. I said we are what? I said we are back. And I don't know whether the principal is here, because I think that time he did not see this galaxy of talent. Where is Mwalimu? This is our current principal. I know he has a bit of some work to do, some leg work, so that he can be able to keep up. Your Excellency, I know he's trying to do a good job, because last year, he may not be able to say it, but we have improved. I think for the last 10 years, we got a good, strong A. Maria, is that true? We are back. Now, what is my appeal? My appeal is one. Watu wa Kirinyaga, tupeleke watoto wetu Kianyaga High School, kwa sababu tumetengeneza shule. I don't want to talk about that because the patron is here. He's going to tell you what is on the card. The board, that is the chairman of the board. I can see David. Please stand up. Where are your members of the board? If they're there, can you stand up? There's work to do. There's work to do, but ours is, we're going to give you some support. We are sure about that. Now, let me just say something about Mwalimu Ndumbi, because I'll give one person to say something about Ndumbi. I always talk to Mwalimu Ndumbi, I think, on a weekly basis, until the day Mwalimu Ndumbi passed on. Around 9 in the morning, of course, the surveyor told us that Mwalimu was taken ill. That was on a Saturday. So I didn't want to disturb Mwalimu. I said I'll call Mwalimu on a Monday because he had Saturday and Sunday. So the first thing in the morning, I said, let me allow him to take breakfast, and then I gave him a call to find out Vida there. So I called Ndumbi around 9:18 actually, to be precise. Just the way they are saying that despite the sickness, Ndumbi took my call, I think the 4th or 3rd or 5th ring. He took my phone, my call. I asked him, Mwalimu, how are you? He didn't say he was fine, but he said, Niko tu. And because he sounded a little bit weak, I just told him that the old boys wanakuombea, and we wish you quick recovery. Then I hang. I had some commitment, so I said I'll check Mwalimu later in the afternoon. Then around, for some reason, I did not check my phone until 5:36. Then I saw Simon Maria calling me. There was karaoke looking for me, and I was like, why are these people calling this much? So Simon talked to me and asked me, have you heard? So I asked him what? He said, I was like, what is this? You know, Your Excellency, we had been talking that you had really gone hiding a little bit. So I was a bit jittery now. Is it telling about the deputy president or something like that? Then he told me, no, Kano Ndumbi, have you heard? I asked him what? The Kano Ndumbi passed on. Simon is there. I did not give him an answer. Then Karaoke called and told me the same kind of thing. I told him, have you not checked the WhatsApp? That's what is trending. So I told him, so what I did is that I didn't know anyone to call. So I said, let me take a leap of faith and call Kano Ndumbi's line, which I did. Unfortunately, I didn't get Mwalimu. I got the daughter. And she was livid, she was crying. So I broke down. And I told them, we'll talk much later. And that's when I told the boys, because they were telling me, can you confirm? Confirm, we want you to confirm that Mwalimu is not there. So I told them, what you have had is true. Now, 2 weeks earlier, the old boys had been planning, Professor Jiro, Professor Dakanio, Dr. Dennis Mago, and a number of people had been planning to visit Mwalimu 2 weeks earlier. And then the same 2 weeks earlier, there was a lot of inquiries because Mwalimu had been featured in the Star. So old boys were saying, including Nakina Jomo, were saying, can we go and say hi to Mwalimu? Unfortunately, that did not happen. And hope free that we have come today to bid Mwalimu farewell. There were 2 things Mwalimu would say, and I'll leave you with it. His motto was, win or win. Mwalimu did not have any other thing. It is win or win. So I think you better carry those 2 words. But before I sign off, I'll ask one of our seniors, that is the Dr. Gedeji, to come and say something for 1 minute. Thank you. You can now sit down.
Thank you very much, Professor Gachagua, Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, all the leadership in the political realm, both in Kirinyaga and nationally, my Lord Bishop, and the esteemed clergy, Madam Judith, Peter, Michael, and Rose, and your families. Distinguished mourners, good afternoon. I do not have too much to say because indeed all the people who stood here brought out various facets that we all know comprise the life of times of Mwalimu Julius Kano Ndumbi. I just happen to be one who was in the leadership under him as a student in Kianyaga, which I joined in 1977. The Honorable, the Deputy President, joined us a year later in 1978, and we had a good time. So the key thing that I want to bring out that helps me compact everything that has been said, because what we're hearing is the quality of a leader that was now transferred to people he worked with, and that's some of us. And that quality is integrity. This man who lies here lived a life of integrity. I say that because we have leaders who talk about how much money they have made, how much this and that they have, but he lived a life of integrity. He was whole. I don't have any doubt in my mind when the Deputy President says he's a truthful man. He's talking about what he drew from the leadership of the late Mwalimu Julius Kano Ndumbi. Normal learning was splashed with a lot of extracurricular activities. I remember students I like to dance. I think the girls from Kabare, Kiruguya, liked the fact that there was a young boy who was a bit lighter than the rest. So when we had school dances, he would be quite happy to see us interact and intermingle. So you develop characters of interactive association during those times. The leadership you see through not the least distinguished Deputy President, and the ability to integrate and marry issues with people from different walks of life, I guess, was honed around that time. I was captain in my A-levels, but I want to say something about what happened. Julius Kano Ndumbi believed so much in us as his boys. And so when we did our A-levels, our O-levels in 1980, and then later on, the Deputy President in 1981, we were looking for other schools, kind of like sample schools we had about, but he was so confident that for some strange reason, some magic was played, and we found ourselves going back to Kianyaga High School. Many of us went to ask, did anything happen? He said, no. You know, you're my boys, I like you. You must continue here until you finish from 6, and you will pass and be good leaders. I don't want to enact just how he said it, but he was such a joy to have. Now, the flip side about the 6 of a cane is that he also was served with a fairly intricate mesh of young boys. The usual indiscipline that is evident in high schools was evident, so he figured the only way to do that is blend a fatherly attitude with very strict and balanced discipline. You may have heard it said that there are days when people would receive discipline in advance. You would look at you and think that you may want to sneak out of school tomorrow and maybe get your dose. Just make sure you stay contained. That was the leadership we enjoyed under Mwalim. So to the family, and just in conclusion, I want to say, if you listen to the tone of conversation and discussion on everybody who spoke, there was a constant thread that spoke about consistency in how he dealt issues. A man who was passionate about his home, his community, passionate about us boys. And by the way, I don't think all the alumni were introduced. So if I could just ask all the alumni, whether you are called by name or not, please stand up. I think they were sitting around here. So we can all, oh, sorry, I didn't mean, okay. I guess, yeah, this is the alumni team who came. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for leading the alumni as our patron. Let's appreciate them, please. Yeah, we have many who are following this. Thank you, please be seated. There are many who are following this from, and I think the only other reason why the Deputy President stood is because I was his captain. So there are a few things I would do in school, and he would say, yes, my captain. Actually, when he shook hands with me, he says, oh, my captain. You know, you feel a bit humbled when he says that because he still remembers the camaraderie that we enjoyed. So to the family, please know that your father, your grandfather enjoyed a life and shared a life beyond yourselves, for which the world is truly thankful. We thank God that he was able to be of impact to the church community and to the community around. We all join in mourning with you, but I guess today is a mourning and a celebration. We celebrate his time and life, and we say, may God richly bless all of you. Thank you very much.